years and made a line of skincare products for 25 years. And so I wasn't actually doing the business at the time. I wasn't operating as a financial professional, although I'm licensed. So I go to his house, we meet him, he's a great guy, he retired from the military, I meet his family, and I get involved again. So I was not expecting to be there. You see what I'm saying? I was not expecting. So sometimes the circumstances like this, right, don't always turn out to be, when you show up, it might seem a little disjointed, but it can absolutely be what you're looking for. So for the last 3 years, it's just like that, and we'll go from here. So for the last 3 years, I've been teaching financial literacy through World Financial Group, and it has absolutely enriched my life and the lives of all of the people that I've touched who have taken the opportunity, realized there was an opportunity to enhance their own finances and also to help others. So I want to welcome you here today, and we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for running the slides for me. So, would you agree that it's a problem that people have financially?
Yes.
Yeah, most people would agree. Most people are struggling financially, and even if they're not, what I have found is that people are broke up to their level. Good morning. Okay.
It's okay because we had to come back down. That's me. So this is Danielle.
Hi, Danielle.
Danielle, this is Robin.
Good.
This is everyone.
All right. I'm sorry, I was upstairs. I'm like,
Oh,
my
you're
God,
fine.
was it the wrong way? It's
Yeah.
all right. And
Thanks
we got a
for
couple
coming.
of people got to let in too.
I was trying to
So,
see if he was going to text me or anything. I was like,
So James is still downstairs, let you in?
Yeah.
James, okay.
He let me in.
Okay,
Yes.
very good.
But I went upstairs. I was in another class.
Okay.
Criminals.
So,
I was in a class for criminals.
oh,
yeah, they're here on the weekends. So, but you're in a safe space. Okay, Richard, you're in a safe space. So we agree that there's a problem financially in the communities. There's a problem in municipalities, there's a problem in households, there's a problem with people who own businesses, who don't know how to have a tax-free retirement. People are employed in 2 jobs trying to make 1 salary, right? That's happening a lot. And the reason why we're having such a difficult time with finances is because only 4 states in the whole country teach anything about financial literacy. Only 4 states. Okay, so if you never learn anything about it in school, how are you supposed to know how to handle that as an adult? So they teach us all kinds of things like the law of relativity and just stuff that we've never used before. So when's the last time you used the law of relativity in your life? Right?
Never.
So I never. But when's the last time you used some money?
every
Every
day.
day.
Every day, probably already today, right? At this time in the morning, right? So when you have a situation where only this is the education model, it's broken. It's broken. Next slide, please. And so as a result, we have a financial crisis where families are, where families are $118,000 in debt. Where families,
Why do you think families accrue so much debt? Or
we're gonna go into that, and if you hold your questions to the end,
okay,
so it's okay, you're fine, and just, everybody heard her question, right? So why are we in the situation that we're in? Back to the last slide, because nobody taught you how.
Yep.
Nobody taught you how to handle, nobody taught you how money works, right? Nobody taught you how money works.
Right.
So as a result, the average household is $118,000 in debt. 40% of Americans are not saving. One of my mentors said to our leadership class, that if you do not have the ability to save, the seed of success is not in you. Right? If you do not have the ability to save, the seed of success is not in you. And here's why saving is so important. When you get money, right? You get paid right? How many have a job, right? Most people have a job, you have some income coming in. When you get that money, if you spend it, you have to think of it as seed. So if I give you a bag of seeds and you don't, and seed is your money, you go spend the money, you don't plant it, you don't save it anywhere, it has no opportunity to grow. The seeds in the bag are of no use to us in the bag. They have to be planted in good soil, agreed?
Yes.
All right? So you have to think of your money as seed. 72% of workers do not have retirement. Do not have retirement because they're working 2 jobs to make 1 paycheck, and the employer likes it that way because they don't have to give benefits. All right? They don't have to offer you benefits. So that being the case, people don't have a way to save for retirement. By 2034, the public number that they're telling us that the Social Security trust fund will be depleted, like gone, won't be around, is 2034. However, inside, as licensed personnel, licensed professionals, they're letting us know that we need to be preparing our clients for 2022, no more Social Security. And if you're paying attention to the news, you recognize that that Social Security was just cut 33%.
Sure was.
Right? 33%. So a third of what people couldn't already live on, right, is gone again. All right. So do you see yourself in these numbers? That's the question. Or people that you know. Okay. Next, please. So when we talk about financial literacy, we start with 4 corners. 4 corners. And these are the fundamental. If you're going to build something, you have to have a foundation, yes? So this is the foundation, the cornerstones. Number 1 is protection. You have to have proper protection. We're having a conversation about money and business this morning, okay? Money and business. And in order to grow money, you have to protect it. You have to protect yourself, your family, and your business. Number 2 is that if you're going to have money, you want to do what with it? You want to grow it. You want to grow it. It's seed. You want to put it in good ground, right? Number 3 is when you grow it, you want it to be safe. You don't want to have risk of loss, right? You don't want to lose the money. You don't want it to be taxed away from you, okay? Number 4 is tax advantaged. Tax advantage. You want to make sure that you keep Uncle Sam's hands out of your pocket as much as possible. Yes, she's shaking her head. Yes, right, right. Absolutely. All right. So keep in mind these 4 cornerstones. 1 is protection. 2 is growth. 3 is safety, and 4 is tax advantage. So where do we get our information from? I'm not making this stuff up. Okay. You're here today at the invitation of someone who thought a lot of you to bring you here. We are in relationship with Transamerica World Financial Group because the commercial banks are not telling you what's really going on. Okay? You go to, if they were, people would not be in the situation that they're in. Correct? All right? So I'm just want to keep it real. Okay? If the commercial banks were our friends, families and communities would not be in the condition that they're in. Transamerica and World Financial Group are serving the underserved market, the people who have never been taught. So this financial literacy information comes as a result of us being affiliated with World Financial Group, and here we get a world-class financial education, the education they did not give us in school. So why we choose World Financial Group? Because the mission. So 3 years ago, the mission statement was no family left behind, helping families rise financially. That's the one that fired me up. Okay. So I think they kind of calmed it down a little bit and they said, okay, to help people from all walks of life build a better future. I'm good with that too, right? Yeah. Because that's what we need to do. We need to build a better future and no family left behind. All right. Yeah. So while I'm going through this information on today, what I'm going to ask you to do is to keep these 3 questions in your mind. These 3 things I want you to consider. Do you know someone who could benefit from the message that I'm sharing with you today? So based on the information that I just gave you, do you see something that's of benefit already? Okay. And can this information help you, your family, and friends financially? Okay. All right. So can this information help you and your family financially? And third, are you intrigued by the business opportunity, right? The business. So we have to come from this from a position of strength. Why did we choose Transamerica? Because Transamerica has been around since 1906. Okay, 1906. And it's owned by Aegon. Aegon is the 156th largest company in the world. Okay, trillions of dollars rich. And we're in a $1 trillion industry, and they are billions of dollars rich. Aegon owns Transamerica as the North American brand. So everybody heard of branding, right? Transamerica is the brand for North America. North America meaning the United States and Canada. Puerto Rico, Guam, right? All of the U.S. Virgin Islands, okay? Right? All of the territories, all right? Yes, which one is it?
Puerto Rico.
All right, yes. So, also, and I'm spending a little bit of time here because I want you to understand that this ain't no fly-by-night one of them things that somebody invited you to, okay? And that when you have a brand like Transamerica, what most people don't know is that Bank of America, how many have heard of Bank of America, right? It spawned from Transamerica, okay? That's how big we are, okay? So more of the strength that we are. How many of you recognize some of these logos up here, right? Nationwide, okay, right. Nationwide is on your side. Prudential, yes, right. Pacific Life. So that's the one that had the big whale that jumps out of the water. You see the commercial on TV, right? Right, Pacific Life. Okay, so we've seen these big names, right? What we don't realize is that these are the programs that these big names represent, and that all of these big names plus 1,000 more are available to us through World Financial Group Transamerica. So we're not just Transamerica. If we come into your home, we have the ability, when we go into a family's home, we have the ability to offer the client what they need. So we're representing the client to the companies as opposed to a company to the client.
Right.
Okay? That means that gives you power of choice. The other part of this is most of us are never exposed to the IRAs, annuities, the index life insurance, the long-term care, college funds, except as benefits on your job. Personally, you have no idea what that stuff is. You just go to HR, they say this is your benefit package, and you sign, right? You get your 401k and all that stuff. But what the population doesn't understand that you can control this from your house. You don't need an employer to do this. Okay, got that? You don't need an employer to do that. Next. So, let's talk about why families are in the condition that they're in, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Right, your question, right? I want to get to it, right? So, this is something that we could have learned in the 3rd grade, right? So we know how many states taught us about money?
4.
1 semester personal finance. That's it. This is a formula developed by Albert Einstein. It's called, it's the 8th wonder of the world, and it's called the Rule of 72. And for most people, when we have this presentation, this is the first time they ever heard of it. Here's how it works. All right, you take the number 72 and you divide your interest rate into it, whatever the interest rate you're getting at the bank. And I'll tell you that your bank interest rate is 0.02%.
That's
They're
right.
not even giving you a nickel. Okay, they're not even giving you a nickel.
Yep.
And even if you have $250,000 in the bank, I went to Bank of America, right? And I opened a business account. They only wanted to give me 0.06% on a $250,000 business account. I was like, are you out of your mind?
Right.
Right? But people don't know any better. They think,
Right.
oh, wow, that's good. Right? They think they're getting something.
Getting some growth.
Right? and Couture just joined us from BB&T, so
That's
she knows
right.
exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Mhm.
So you got the concept. You take the number 72 and you divide your interest rate into it. So let's say your bank was giving you 1%. They're not, but let's just say you're getting 1%. All right, and you're 29 years old. You put $10,000 in an account. You never touch it again. You divide the number 1 into 72 goes how many times?
72.
72. That means that when you're 101 years old, you'll finally have $20,000.
Mhm.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So is this person still alive?
No.
Probably not.
Great grandchildren would be.
enjoy it? Great.
You not.
Right.
Right. So let's take that home a little bit further. If I give you $1 today, when will you have $2? In 72
more
years. I just want to condense that a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy, but that's the reality. So if you're not getting 1% on your money and people have money parked in banks, they are losing money.
Mm-hmm.
So families are in the condition that they're in because they don't know this, right?
Yep.
They have money in banks where they're losing money, and we'll talk about how that's happening as well.
With all those fees?
And the fees.
Yep.
And the fees, right? It's like another
Right.
tax,
Yep.
right? It's like another tax. And don't bounce a check,
Nope.
please.
Yeah.
Right, check.
Mm.
Right? Okay?
Mm-mm.
So let's look at what this really means. So at 4%, your money doubles every 18 years. Now you're 65, you've got $40,000 in the bank. Is that enough to retire on?
No.
No. Now you figured out where to get 6%. Your money doubles every 12 years. At 65, you have $80,000. Is that enough to retire on?
No.
No. Now you've got 10%. Your money doubles every 7.2 years. At 65, you have $320,000. Is that enough to retire on?
No.
No, but you're not better.
32 for 10 years.
Yeah.
Is it? Is
No.
it really?
No.
So
No.
let's look at that.
Depends.
Because you need to know what your number is.
Ramen noodles.
And so what that just told me is that you don't know what your number is.
Right.
Because if you think $320,000 is a lot of money, it's
For
only
about 10 years.
$32,000 for 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's all that is. And most people, when they retire at 65, live another 20 to 30 years.
Yep. Living longer.
People are living longer.
And all the medications and stuff, hospital bills, there you go. While
Okay.
Right.
At 72,
So now you broke next year.
right? At 72.
Let's go to Walmart, Walmart.
So that's a very interesting point
Yes.
because you see 72, 73-year-olds
At the door, they greeters.
greeters at the door.
Mm-hmm.
Believe me, they didn't plan to be there when they were
No.
our age.
Nope.
No,
But they didn't have a plan not to be there.
Right.
that's right.
You hear what I'm saying? They didn't have a plan not to be there. All right? So at 72 years old, $640,000 is a good start.
Yep.
But it's not enough. Not if you have medical issues, right? Not if you want to travel. Not if you have dreams and goals, right?
Right.
Right? Okay. So, oh no, go back. So, 'cause I gotta really answer your question.
Answer my question.
This works in reverse. How many of you have credit cards?
Yeah.
Right? If you have a credit card, are they charging you more than 10% interest?
Yeah.
Of course.
Uh-huh. So if it's 20%, they doubling the principal, the amount that you owe doubles every 3 years.
Yep.
And if you only pay the minimum, you will never
Never
get
pay
out
it
of debt.
off. Nope.
You will never, ever, ever get out of debt.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? They're using the rule of 72 against you because you don't know the rule of 72.
Right.
And where do you get 10%?
Mm-hmm.
How is it that they can get 20% and 28%?
Yep.
And
Off of your money.
Off your money.
29.
And you can't even get 1%
Right.
on your money,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Like it's mine. Give me some money.
The bank.
Okay? I just
Yep.
want to let that soak in for a moment, right? So you will always be the debtor. Families are in the condition that they're in because they're taught to be debtors. We're taught to be consumers. And worse than that, we're using other people's money to consume. So we're consuming money to consume things. Always the debtor, okay? That does something to your spirit. And it creates a mentality of poverty. Okay? All right. So, now we go. Thank you. So what do you do with your money? And I'm going to answer the way you get 10%. Because that should be the burning question in the room, right?
Right.
That should be the elephant.
That's right.
Right? Well, where do I
That's
get 10%?
right.
Okay?
That's right.
So, let's talk about where to put your money. Because we said we got to exercise the saving muscle, right? You got to build a saving muscle. Even if you just put away $1 a day, $5 a week, whatever, you have to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Just to get in the habit of putting money away. And then when you have the real opportunity to put money someplace, it's already built into your consciousness that you're a saver, right? And you can experience the joy of accumulating money as opposed to the pain of being in debt. Okay? It's a real different experience, all right? So where do you put your money? Fixed accounts. Fixed accounts are, you get the nickel that they're going to not give you. Right?
Right.
Right? But at least it's constant. Right? It's fixed. Right? Safe. Right? Anything that comes in flat line is what?
Dead. DOA.
Dead on the rock. Beep. Something just beep.
That was perfect.
That's
That was perfect.
Okay.
That's the machine. Dead on.
Okay. Variable. Variable is the stock market. It's where you put your money and you're on a roller coaster ride. If you have a 401k, your mutual funds, your money is in the stock market. Okay? So when the market goes up, your money can go up, but when the market crashes,
Your money crashes.
In 2008, people lost 52% of the money that they had saved. Folks that thought they were going to retire in 2009 are still working today to try to recover. That's how devastating it can be. Okay? When you when you lose more than half of what you saved your whole life. You worked 40 years and it's gone in a matter of hours or days. Variable stock market. Indexed. Indexed accounts are mirroring the market. So the market is over here for real, and then the index account is over here, and it mirrors the market. So it climbs when the market climbs, but when the market goes down, your money locks in principal and interest. Okay? When the market climbs again and goes back up, your money goes up. And when the market comes back down, your money locks in principal and interest. And it continues to do that so that you have all of the upside gain up to 15%, right? Told you I was going to tell you where you get 10%. Right?
Yep.
Right? Up to 15%. And it has a 0.75 floor. So even when the market is down here and everybody else is losing money and jumping out of windows and stuff, you're still gaining 0.75%, which is still more than you get at the bank.
Yep.
Right? Right? It's 75 cents on the dollar, as opposed to 2 cents on the dollar. Okay? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay? So where would you like your money to go?
Index.
That's it. No brainer. No brainer.
Index. Okay. Very good. Very good.
I want it.
So let me tell you where most of the people are. I call this our culture scape. This is why families are in the condition that they're in, right? Interesting, she would pose the exact question we need to answer, right? So most people over here in fixed. What is fixed? That's the flat line, right?
Yep.
That's the money that's in the bank and the CDs, and that's in traditional life insurance. That's cash value. Okay, fixed. All right. Why are people putting their money there? Because it's what? Safe. It's safe, right? They feel like the FDIC is insured up to $250,000. Right? People with a poverty mentality don't believe they're going to have $250,000 in their bank account anyway, so they don't even think about that. Right? So they're over here because it's safe. They have no opportunity for growth. Right? Over here, people in the market, right? They have individual stocks and mutual funds with no guarantees, and They have variable life insurance, which means part of their life insurance is in the market. So if the market plummets, right, crashes, the new word, the politically correct word for market crash nowadays is correction. So when you hear them talking about the market correction, they're talking about a crash. Okay, we expect the market to correct. They're saying they expect the market to crash. All right? Okay. All right, so most people, so then you have these people over here, they have less safety, they have some risk, right? They got a lot of risk, right? But they have more opportunity for growth. Okay, so you can lose your shirt over here or you can make a lot of money. Where the wealthy people are, and these are people with mindset, not white, black, not race, creed, color, not that, knowledge. People who know, right? They're over here in the index, right? I just showed you the index, right? It's an index universal life insurance, right? So let me say at this point that you were not invited here today to buy life insurance, okay? You're not here today so I can sell you life insurance. Believe me, if it was caterpillar poo, right, and it was get you 15%, I'll be up here talking to you about caterpillar poo, all right? So just be clear about that. But it happens to be the index universal life. It's been around for 100 years. And because only 4 states in the country teach us anything about finance, we know nothing about the index. How many heard the index before I mentioned it to you? Or you learned it here? Okay, okay, okay. So are you utilizing it? Right? Are you getting the 15%? If you've heard about it, are you using it? Is it working for you in your life, right? So this is where the culture scape is. This money here in the index is completely 100% guaranteed by contract. Can't lose money. Can't lose money. So, we're still talking about financial literacy. Yes? You with me?
Yes.
Okay. So, if you had the ability to determine your own tax status, would you do that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so let's take a look at where we are. Most people are in the tax now category. If you have a check, if you have a job and you get a check at the end of the week or every 2 weeks, right? They already took the taxes before they gave you your portion, right? That's called tax now. That's called jacked.
Yeah. I like that one.
If you have money in savings accounts or CDs, right? If you have money in the bank, they tax you on the interest that you earn in the year that you earn it. Okay, even stocks and bonds and all that kind of stuff. If you make any money, you pay the tax on the money you made, capital gains. You pay tax on that in the year that you earn it. Okay, that's called tax now. Tax later are your 401ks, your 403bs. Okay, they are your plans that are deferred. That means when on your job they gave you benefits and you signed the contract and you said, yes, take money out of my check before you take the tax, then don't pay tax on it and put it in this account for me, okay, that I don't own.
Right.
The company owns it. Okay, you don't own the 401k or 403b, all right? I know, right? It's an eyebrow raiser. So, right?
That's
And
right.
you said, I'll pay tax on that later.
Right.
I just need some money to accumulate. That's called deferred, right? That's called deferred. So we're going to talk about why your 401k and your 403b are tax traps.
Yeah.
Okay, tax traps. In the right portfolio,
Right.
it can be useful, but for most people with a 401k, they don't have a portfolio. They don't even know what a portfolio is.
Right.
Okay, they just know I got a 401k on my job, and they think that's the best thing since sliced bread. Okay, so, or you can be in a tax advantage. Tax advantage, we'll see in a little bit, is another code word. Okay, politically correct. All right. So in your tax advantage, you have accumulation in life insurance policy, and you have your Roth IRAs. Okay. So let's talk about why families in the condition that they're in. Charts and graphs, right? People are like bored to death. What, a chart, a graph? This is really interesting. This gray part right here is government spending. Okay, the little
Yeah.
blue line that you see.
It
that's
should
your
be the
money.
whole screen.
Okay. Right,
It should be the whole
right?
screen.
So government spending, personal income tax. In 1946, we were just coming out of World War II. First time women were allowed in the workforce. I'm giving you this backdrop for a reason. Remember, okay? Okay. Government spending, right? Because they got to fund the war machine. Government spending was 121.25%, and personal tax was 94%. That means if you made $100,000, you took home how much? $6,000.
Worker bees.
Okay.
Go to work,
All right.
bees.
First time women allowed in
I
the
know it.
workplace. Right? Because all the men were
Not today.
at war.
Right.
Right? Okay. So then the war effort goes down, right? But notice what happens up here. It's a big gap, still a big gap between this government spending and the people and the money they're getting from the taxes. Why is that? Because the only money that the government has to spend is whose money? Yours. So as government spending goes back up, this is 2014, it's 2018 now, right? Government spending is trillions of dollars in debt.
Yeah.
Right? It's not,
Yep.
it's off the chart, right?
Off
Because
the
Tori said
chart.
it should take up the whole page.
That's it.
Right?
The next
So
slide.
it's
Yeah.
it's trillions of dollars.
Right.
Those are fit in the TV.
Right. And so, but here's the tax rate is about 40%. Okay? So if taxes are going up based on historical evidence, right? We didn't make this up. Based on historical evidence, what has to happen to this blue line?
Gonna go up.
It has to go up. It has to go up, and you have a 401k.
Yep.
And you said you're going to pay
Tax
taxes
later.
Later.
Yep. So now
Right?
you're paying
So
money.
now,
Nope.
right? And if
Lucky
they
you
gave
get
you a match,
$10.
the match was only enough to maybe cover the taxes.
Right.
They're about to take half.
Yep.
Okay. Now I don't have a crystal ball, and I can't tell you that taxes are going. I see taxes are going up, right?
They do.
But I do know who's in the White House.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And I do know, and I do know they just cut Social Security 33%. Open this, get some air in
Yep.
Yep.
there. The handwriting is on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have a lot of
So,
Mm-hmm.
if you have the choice, tax now, checking, savings, CDs, stocks, and mutual funds. You pay tax in a year that you earn interest. You may need a checking account just to do your day-to-day stuff, right? Debit card, right? You need a savings account just to have some emergency fund.
Mm-hmm.
do that at home.
Right? You got better places to put it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your 401ks, 403bs are tax traps.
Yep.
Here's the thing about it though, it's a trap you cannot get out of because you don't own the 401k. Your company, God bless you, your company owns the 401k.
Well, I don't have 401k at all.
Okay.
Me